Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Leslie Payne, and I am the ADEA AADSAS Fee Assistance Program Manager. And I hope that by the end of the presentation today, you receive more information than what you had before pertaining to ADEA AADSAS FAP. Okay, what is the ADEA AADSAS Fee Assistance Program? This program was created to assist students and families who demonstrate extreme financial need by reducing the cost of applying to dental school through ADEA AADSAS. The ADEA AADSAS Fee Assistance Program is an independent program offered by the American Dental Education Association, and we are not affiliated with any financial institution or bank. ADEA AADSAS FAP is also at the sole discretion of ADEA. Qualifying for 2023-24 ADEA AADSAS FAP. All applicants must create an ADEA AADSAS account. All applicants will need to create this account. It is very important that you create this account prior to completing an ADEA AADSAS Fee Assistance Program application. You will need to create your ADEA AADSAS account so that you can receive your CAS ID number. And this CAS ID number will be with you throughout the application process, and this CAS number is needed to go through the FAP process. All applicants must be U.S. citizens or permanent residents, also known as green card holders, or have DACA status. Applicants and their family must have lived at or below 200% of the federal poverty level for the 2022 tax year. Okay, so for example, if you have a family of 4, if you are considered independent with a family of 4, then that family's total income for year 2022 cannot exceed $55,000 or $55,500. Okay. Required supporting information. Applicants 26 years of age or younger, born after January 1st, 1996, must submit the 2022 tax returns, W-2s, 1099s, and Schedule A if you're itemizing your deductions for yourself, parent, guardian, and spouse. So remember, if you are 26 years of age, and this is pertaining to 2022, if you're 26 years of age or younger and born after January the 1st, 1996, you must submit tax returns and other documents for your parent or guardian and your spouse if you are married. Applicants 26 years of age or older, born before January 1st, 1996, must submit the 2022 tax returns, W-2s, 1099s, and Schedule A if you're itemizing deductions for yourself and your spouse if you are married. If you are not married, but are at the age of 26 years or older and born before January the 1st, 1996, you will only need to submit your information, your tax returns, your W-2s, okay? If the applicant was enrolled in a college or university for the academic year 2022-23, the applicant must provide the financial aid award notification, okay? And this is something that you would receive from FAFSA. All right, let's go. All right, so when does ADEA AADSAS FAP become available? Starting on May 9th, applicants can complete and submit their ADEA AADSAS FAP application and submission form, along with all the required supporting documents. May 9th is also the launch date for the ADEA AADSAS, the 2023-24 ADEA AADSAS application. Okay, so starting on May 9th, if you're applying to ADEA AADSAS FAP, you can complete, submit your FAP application. Submitting for ADEA AADSAS FAP. Applicants must complete the 2023-24 ADEA AADSAS FAP application and submission form and submit all required supporting documents. The 2023-24 ADEA AADSAS FAP application and submission form must all be completed in one sitting. All required documents must be attached to the application and submission form and submitted all at the same time. So for instance, let's say if you start to complete your ADEA AADSAS FAP application, and let's say you forgot a document and you're not going to receive that document until tomorrow, but you've already started your application. You're not able to save it and come back. You will need to either complete it at that time when you start it, or you will have to start the application process all over again. All right, so make sure that you're ready to submit when you start, because you will not be able to save any information. So new for 2023-24 ADEA AADSAS FAP application and submission form. Applicants will now be able to preview their application and attach documents prior to submission. Okay, so this gives you the opportunity to make sure that all of the information you've entered on your application and all of the required supporting documents that you're getting ready to submit are being entered correctly and that everything has been attached. So you can preview what you've entered onto the application, and you're also able to preview the documents that you have attached to your application. Remember, you only have one opportunity to complete and submit your application. Any document submitted once you have clicked that submit button will not be processed, and changes to the application cannot be made. What are the benefits of being awarded 2023-24 ADEA AADSAS FAP? Applicants who are awarded ADEA AADSAS FAP will receive a total of $494 in dental school designations. You'll receive the first, second, and third dental school designation for free. And that's valued at $494. So how long does it take to process an FAP request? Once the applicant has submitted the application form and all required supporting documents, the processing starts automatically and will take approximately 5 business days. Applicants who apply to ADEA AADSAS FAP in May will receive a decision starting the first week of ADEA AADSAS application submission, which is May 30th. That is the first date that applicants are allowed to submit their ADEA AADSAS application. So these decisions for applicants applying in May will be sent out the first week of the application the application submission date for ADEA AADSAS. Applicants approved for ADEA AADSAS FAP Applicants who are approved for ADEA AADSAS FAP will have 14 calendar days from the date of the approval. Once you receive your email approval notification, you have 14 days from that date. So for instance, if you submit your application for FAP and receive an email notification saying that you were approved, and you receive that email notification on May 30th, you'll have until May 13th, up until 11:59 p.m. to submit your ADEA AADSAS application. You will have 14 calendar days, not business days, 14 calendar days to submit your ADEA AADSAS application once you've been approved. ADEA AADSAS FAP will start accepting and processing applications on May 9th, and will continue to process all applications until funds have been depleted. Okay, so this is a first come, first served basis. Applications that are submitted first will be reviewed. Once funds have been depleted, FAP for 2023-24 cycle will be over. So make sure that you are completing the application 100%. Make sure that documents are submitted first time as it should be, because you only have one chance. And like I said, it's on a first come, first served basis. And you will have only one opportunity per cycle to apply. You get to apply up to 3 times for 3 cycles, rather. Okay, so ADEA AADSAS FAP instructions and tips can be found at adea.org/GoDental. I would encourage all of you to please read the instructions thoroughly. Okay, we have customer service available, waiting to answer your questions. But I do encourage you to I would encourage you to read all of the instructions thoroughly prior to calling customer service. Most of your questions can be found in most of the answers to your questions, can be found in the instructions. But if you feel like you've read the instructions thoroughly and your questions are still not being answered, please reach out. Okay, you can send all of your inquiries to FAPAADSAS@adea.org, and your response will be received, or a response rather will be received within 3 business days. So please read the instructions very, very carefully prior to reaching out. I want to thank you all for joining me today for this presentation. I hope that some of your questions have been answered, if not all, and I wish you much success with your pursuit to a career in dentistry. So I will take your questions now.
Thank you, Ms. Leslie. The first question is, for submitting tax documents, the age of 26 was mentioned. What is the date by which someone either has to be 26 or before they're 26?
Okay, so this pertains to year 2022. Tax returns, age, all of this information pertains to tax year 2022. So if you were 26 years of age or older in 2022 and born after or before 1996, that's what you would base on how you would submit documents. So let's say if you were 22 years of age, born after January 1st, 1996, and you were 22 last year, you would need to submit your parents' documents. You would have to submit your parents' tax returns. Now, if you were 22 years of age last year, born before January 1st, 1996, you will not have to submit your parents' documents unless you are considered a dependent. or if you're married, you would need to submit documents for your spouse. So all of this information pertains to year 2022. And if you were born before or after January 1st, 1996.
Thank you. Does this fee assistance program also help pay for the DAT or just for the application to dental school?
This fee assistance program is the ADEA AADSAS fee assistance program, and this program will help you pay for the ADEA AADSAS application dental school designations only. DAT, you would have to contact ADA for the DAT FAP.
Thank you. Can you share the date that an FAP application will be have a decision, the earliest date that somebody can be approved?
The earliest date would be the first week of the ADEA AADSAS launch or the ADEA AADSAS submission, which is May 30th. So let's say if you applied to FAP on May 9th at the beginning of the cycle or at the opening of the cycle, you will not receive a decision until the week starting May 30th. So it'll be that week, the first week of the ADEA AADSAS submission.
Thank you. And do all three designations, if one is approved, have to be submitted within that 14-day window after approval?
Yes, you will have to submit 14 calendar days before the 14 calendar day once you have been approved. So once you receive that email, you must submit your application, but you must submit all three designations. Sometimes applicants make mistakes and submit only one dental school when you have three that you've been awarded. And once you submit that, or once you click the submit button and just submit the one dental school, you'll receive fee assistance for just that one dental school. And the additional funds will be returned. You will not be able to use them. So you have to make sure that when you designate your dental schools, if you have been approved for FAP, you must submit all three dental schools at the same time. You cannot do one at a time. You have to be ready to submit all three dental schools.
Thank you. Can you clarify if U.S. citizens are allowed to submit for FAP?
Yes, U.S. citizens, permanent residents, also known as the green card holders, and DACA.
So are non-U.S. citizens eligible to apply?
No, only if you're holding a green card, only if you're DACA. Only U.S. citizens. You have to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident of the U.S.
Thank you. Can you share where an applicant can find the 200% of the federal poverty level limit?
Sure, that information will be in the ADEA AADSAS FAP instructions. This should become available this coming week. You will be able to be a link in the in the instructions for FAP.
Thank you. If an applicant would like to apply to more than 3 ADEA AADSAS programs, can they apply to those additional schools if they are approved for FAP?
Yes, great question. Yes, you are able to apply to additional schools. You can apply to as many schools as you would like if you are approved for FAP. If you are approved for FAP, the 3 dental schools that you designated first will be deducted from your application fee. You will only have to pay for the remainder schools.
Thank you. There are a few questions about applicants who plan to apply in July or August. When should they submit their FAP application?
I would encourage you to apply to FAP as soon as possible. Like I said, it's on a first come, first served basis. Normally by the end of July and August, all funds have been depleted. Normally, I can't tell you exactly when, but I would just encourage you to apply as soon as you can.
Thank you. What happens if an applicant is notified of their FAP approval after they've already submitted their dental school application?
If an applicant is notified after they've submitted their ADEA AADSAS application, then they will not be able to receive FAP. So you must submit your application after receiving a decision. I do apologize, I did not mention that, but that is also in the instructions. You will have to wait for a decision from ADEA AADSAS FAP prior to submitting your ADEA AADSAS application. If you do submit before receiving a decision, funds will be returned to the pot and you will not receive any financial support.
Thank you. Can you share where the FAP application is located and when it will be available?
Yes, so the application is not yet available. It will be a link in the instructions, which will become available next week. The application will be embedded. You can click on the link within the instructions and it will take you directly to the application, but it will not be available until May 9th. The application itself, but the instructions will be there. You just won't be able to get to the application until May 9th.
Thank you. Is information or the decision on FAP, does it affect the ADEA AADSAS application at all?
No, the decision of FAP does not affect your ADEA AADSAS application in any way.
Thank you. If somebody files as an independent and is not receiving financial support, does the family's income must be reported in the FAP application?
If an applicant is filing independent, you must just show that you're filing independent. If you are considered, let's say, if you are 26 years of age or younger, born after the January 1st, 1996, but you have no other support, you don't have family support, and you are the only person who is supporting yourself and you're under that age, then you would simply write us a letter of explanation. You would attach a comment in the application, the FAP application. There's a box there, and you can just add that information and attach your tax returns. We will need your tax returns to show that you're independent.
Thank you. Can an applicant submit proof of Pell Grants and other financial aid, even if it was a few years ago?
I would suggest only submitting documents that are required. That would be your financial aid award notification and your tax returns.
Thank you. And will the instructions or this presentation be posted or emailed to the people on this call?
Yes, it will be posted.
Thank you. Are students who are over the age of 26 still eligible for FAP?
Yes, you're eligible for FAP at any age if you qualify. It just depends on your finances.
Thank you. Can asylum pending applicants apply for fee assistance?
Can asylum independents apply for fee assistance? A fee assistance? I'm assuming yes, but I can't really answer that question. I would have to really let you know. I have to get some more information. But if you would email FAPAADSAS at ADEA.org, send me that question and I will get that answer to you.
Thank you. There are some questions being repeated. Again, this presentation will be posted along with the instructions and link to the FAP. If I missed a question, could you please put it back in the chat box? So again, Does the FAP application affect anything in the ADEA AADSAS application like DAT scores? Are they linked at all?
No. Like I said before, FAP is not associated with anyone but ADEA. It has nothing to do with your application, the process, DAT scores, DAT, or ADA.
Thank you. Can you clarify exactly where this will be posted on the ADEA website?
Yes, it will be posted at adea.org/GoDental, or you can go to the adea.org website and click on ADEA DHCAS. And once you get there next week, you will see the instructions. You'll click on the Apply to DHCAS button. It'll take you to the application, but the instructions will also be there.
Is there a deadline to submit the FAP application?
Yes, there is a deadline. The deadline is the same date as the ADEA AADSAS, which is in February of 2024. But like I said before, normally funds are depleted prior to that date. Funds are normally depleted by the beginning of July. So I would encourage you to apply as soon as you can. It's on a first come, first served basis. And I can't tell you of a date when the funds will be depleted, but they go fast. And I would just suggest you get your application submitted as soon as you can.
One more time, please. Can you clarify how many designations approval for FAP will cover and how long does it take to be notified?
Okay, so if you are approved for FAP, you will receive a total of 3 dental school designations for free. That's a total of $494. So the first 3 designations that you add to your application will be free. Instead of paying the $259, $259 or $264 for the first and $115 for each additional, you get those 3 for free. So once you are approved, you have 14 days to submit, and you will be notified. If you apply in May, you'll be notified the first week of the ADEA AADSAS submission, which starts on May 30th. If you apply after May 30th or on May 30th, it will take approximately 5 business days for you to receive a decision.
Thank you. Can you share information on how someone can access the instructions from within the ADEA AADSAS application?
Okay, well, you would need to go to ADEA AADSAS. I apologize. Go to ADEA AADSAS, and you can click on Apply to ADEA AADSAS, Preparing to Apply, and that the instructions will be in there. Like I said, they're not there as of yet. They will be there starting next week, but as of today, they are not there.
So when somebody opens the application, there will be a link to the instructions they can access.
In the application?
Yes.
I would have to, I don't think there's a link for FAP within the application. I would have to look at that.
Thank you. If we can post that information when with this information with these presentation.
Yes, for sure.
If someone is not approved, can they reapply?
If you are not approved, if you apply this cycle and are not approved, you can apply next cycle as long as, like I said, you can apply up to 3 times. So if you apply this cycle, don't get approved, you can't apply again within the same cycle. You can only apply once per cycle. Okay, so if you're not approved this cycle, or if you're not approved, then you would need to wait until next cycle to apply again.
Thank you. Can somebody apply for FAP this year if they plan to apply to dental schools in June of 2024?
No, You will, this application is only, this FAP application is available for students applying starting on May 9th. So if you're applying to dental school starting in May, you would submit your FAP application this year. If you're not applying until next year, if you're not applying to dental school until next year, then you would apply in May of 2024.
Thank you. If somebody has very specific questions about their particular financial aid package or income tax status, where can they find information if they're eligible for FAP?
All of the information about eligibility will be in the instructions. If the information, if it's a specific question that you want to ask regarding your finances or circumstances, then you can send an email to FAPAADSAS@ADEA.org, and you'll receive a response from there.
Thank you. For the last question, can you please again share how this will be communicated, the presentation, the instructions, and the actual application for those people who would like to prepare for it to open?
Okay, so the recording will be available on our website. Also, I think we're going to have, it's a YouTube video that will be available for you to see. As far as the application availability, it will become available on May 9th. At that time, you can complete and submit your ADEA AADSAS FAP application and all documents. And what was the third question, Emily? I'm sorry.
The instructions, this presentation, and the actual application.
Okay, yes. So the instructions will become available next week. Link to the FAP application will be within the instructions, and the recording will be available as of, I would have to make sure, but I think it'll be available as of tomorrow. I would have to get that information as well.
Thank you so much for the presentation.
You're so very welcome. Thank you all for joining me today, and I hope I answered most of your questions. If you have any additional questions or questions that you don't feel like you could have asked on this during this presentation, I would encourage you to just submit an email to FAPAADSAS@ADEA.org, and I will be happy to answer those questions for you. It will take approximately 3 business days to get those questions answered, but please submit them if you feel a need to ask. Thank you so very much. You all have a great day.